Hi friends, and welcome to the Ignite Wellness channel. This is a 50-minute Yin Yoga class to help you ground down after a day of traveling, but will also feel great if you've been busy and moving around all day. We'll use one yoga block for this class, but if you don't have one, no worries. A thick blanket or a big book could work too. This class will be taught in silence, but if you'd like to have music on your end, there's a suggested playlist link below and you can go ahead and click on that now. If you enjoy this class, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below. I share new content every Tuesday. It'd be great to have you join. For this practice, we'll start laying down on your back. And bend your knees and plant your feet flat on the floor. So let your arms fall out to the sides. Let your eyes soften. Maybe they close. And just start to turn your attention inward. And try to stay in this observant state of mind. Just see what you notice. You're not looking for anything in particular. Just observe. Take in sounds around you, sensations in your body, or maybe there's a thought that keeps running through your mind. Welcome all of that in. And start to guide your awareness towards your breath, just your natural breath. Observe where and how your breath moves. Observe the cadence of your breath. Breath moves in and breath moves out. Keep this sense of ease to your breath throughout the practice. Your breath is your anchor. Always come back to it. And start to hug your knees in towards your chest. And start to roll in a circle one direction. Just massage your low back. And then reverse the circle. Move in the other direction. Lower your feet back down to the ground. And grab your block or your thick book or blanket and lift your hips up and slide the prop underneath your hips. You don't want it too high so it's in your low back and not too low so it's on your tailbone. Kind of right in the middle part, that flat part of your pelvis. And for some people this just does not feel good at all. Feel free to remove it. In these shapes, let the first few moments be exploratory. Kind of feel things out and adjust your body so you find a place where you feel something, but you're not actively pushing or forcing yourself into a shape. Once you've found that place, do your best to be completely still. can be tricky in the first couple shapes to find that stillness, so stay patient with yourself. Allow your hips to sink heavy into the prop. And invite your mind to focus on your breath again. This continuous, rhythmic pace to your breath. About 1 more minute in this shape. This style of yoga is much more about the length of time in these poses as opposed to the effort. So do your best to do less, to soften and melt into the floor. Savor the last few breaths in this shape. Sweet breath in, complete breath out. And take your time moving out of this shape. You'll lift your hips up just enough that you can slide the prop out and lower your hips all the way back down. Feel the heaviness of your hips on the ground. Just breathe, let it settle. And then start to windshield wiper your knees from side to side, slowly, like you're moving through honey. So wipe away any leftover stress and tension in your hips, your low back. Just about 1 more time like that. And bring your knees back to center. And then hug just your right leg in. Extend your left leg long. A couple breaths here. Allow your shoulders to be heavy on the mat. And visualize your breath moving all the way down into your right hip. Open your right arm out to the side. And then draw your right leg across your body so that you end up in a twist. And remember, the first few moments you're just feeling things out. Adjust the shape however you need so that gravity does the work for you. If having your bottom leg, your left leg extended just does not feel right, you can bend that knee and stack knee on top of knee. It might be a little more accessible there. Find the right place for your arms. It might even feel good to let your head fall to the right. commit to stillness and refocus your attention to your breath. Notice how it might move differently in a twisted shape. Feel yourself pulse with your breath. It is normal for your mind to wander or feel like you're fidgeting. Stay patient. The stillness is a big part of the practice. It takes time. Just a few more breaths here. Slowly start to bring your head back to center if it was turned to the side. And start to unravel from your twist. Bring your right leg back to center. You might feel like you're a million years old as you move out of these shapes. Stay gentle. Extend your right leg all the way out next to your left. Just breathe and feel. And when you're ready, hug your left knee in. Right leg stays long this time. Feel and visualize your breath moving down into your left hip. And then open your left arm out to the side and draw your left leg across your body, finding that twist but on the other side. Feeling things out. It might be way different on one side versus the other. For me, it definitely is. I needed a little support underneath my knee. Know that that option is there for you too. Find that point where anything more would be too much, but anything less is holding back. That sweet spot, your edge. And soften that edge by staying with your breath. Notice where you're gripping or tensing up and send your breath there. your breath to be longer, smoother, softer. For the remaining time in this shape, see if you can do 50% less than you're doing right now. Completely let go. Just a few more breaths here. And now remove any props you have under you if you're using them, but keep your left leg right where it is. And then bring your right arm underneath your head like a pillow and roll completely onto your right side. Just resting on your right side. Breathe. And then slowly start to work your way all the way onto your belly. Stack one hand on top of the other and rest your hands underneath your forehead like a pillow. Feel the entire front side of your body against the floor. And feel how your breath moves here. On every inhale, your belly breathes into the floor. And on every exhale, it slightly pulls away. Stay with that sensation. Feel your breath moving into the back side of your body. Notice where you feel it and where you don't. Now, giving yourself all the time you need, you'll slowly start to press yourself up to hands and knees. No rush at all. Gently lift your head. Place your hands by the sides of your chest. And press yourself up to a tabletop shape, hands and knees. Fingers spread wide, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And start to move with your breath here. Your inhale opens you up into cow. And exhale, round your spine. Tailbone draws under, head curls in. Keep moving like that. Inhale, tailbone tilts up towards the ceiling. Lift your gaze. Exhale, round your spine. Move with the rhythm of your own breath. We all breathe differently. Inhale opens you up. And exhale rounds your spine. Just a couple more times like that. You could even take this movement side to side or in a circle if that would feel good. When that feels complete, Bring your toes to touch your knees, widen out to the sides, and sit your hips back towards your heels. Arms extend forward, child's pose. There's lots of variations for this shape. If this bothers your ankles, place a blanket underneath the tops of your feet. If it's too much pressure on your knees, put that blanket behind your knees to help decompress your knee joint. It might feel good to have arms by your sides if extended doesn't feel quite right. It will feel and look different for everyone. We'll be in these shapes for some time, so no rush getting settled. Once you've found your edge, soften completely. Do as little as possible. Surrender into the shape. This Yin Yoga practice is very simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Stay patient. Not too much longer here. Do your best to stay with it, but know that it's totally fine if you need to adjust. Listen to your body. Give yourself about 3 more breaths in this shape. Slowly start to lift your head and take all the time you need to press up to hands and knees. The achiness, the tenderness will pass. Just breathe and move in any way that would feel really good to you right now. Maybe finding those cat-cow movements again, rocking side to side, or extend one leg out at a time. Trust yourself. There's no wrong way here. And then guide your right foot forward outside of your right hand. You might need to give it a little help to get there. And if you like, you can grab that block again and place it underneath your hands. You're not finding your deepest stretch ever here, since we'll be here for some time, so less is more. Find your edge. Some people might be able to come down onto your elbows. Some you might even want to be a little bit higher, turning the block up. Meet yourself where you are. One option isn't better than the other. You choose the one that fits you. It might feel good to let your head hang heavy. This pose, dragon pose, can be a little bit intense. We'll be here not too much longer. Keep breathing. Stay with your breath as it moves in, and follow it to the bottom as it moves out. Notice where you're working, where you don't need to. Unclench your jaw, slacken your tongue, soften your shoulders down your back. A few more breaths here. Lift yourself back up onto your hands if you aren't there already, and move the prop out to the side. Pull your hips back towards your left heel so you're kind of in a half split position. And then rock forward again, bend into your right knee. So you'll move back and forth between those two at your own pace. Pull your hips back and rock forward. And next time you rock back, bring your hips all the way down. Kind of a weird transition here. But you're going to keep your left knee bent and bring the bottom of your left foot inside your right leg. So it's kind of like a seated tree pose. Settle into your hips and try to turn your torso to face your extended leg, your right leg. And maybe you bring both hands beside your right leg. You could stay right there. Or perhaps your body's calling for you to let your head hang heavy and you round the spine over your right leg. No pushing or forcing or reaching. Less is more. And going deeper doesn't make it better. You want your muscles as relaxed and as soft as possible so you can tap into the deeper connective tissue. The sensations will change while you're in the shape. Notice where you feel sensation in your body. Perhaps the back of your right leg, the left side of your low back, left hip. Send your breath there and encourage those places to soften and release. Three more breaths. Breathe into the tension. Or stay gentle with yourself as you slowly start to lift your head. And then bring your spine all the way back up. Stay checked in. The transitions are part of the practice too. Extend your left leg next to your right. And just pause for a moment. Feel. Bring both hands behind your hips and just lift your chest slightly or rock side to side. Maybe your head tilts back if that would feel good. Wipe it away. And work your way back to that tabletop position. No rush. And this time, after some organic movement, you'll guide your left foot forward outside of your left hand. Again, maybe this leg needs a little help. Could be way different side to side. No judgment or expectation. And set yourself up for success. Find some support underneath you if that would be helpful. Find your edge and then commit to the stillness. Option for your head to hang heavy. It's really hard to push and force yourself into relaxation. So see what happens when you do less. Tune into those spaces of tension and invite them to soften and release. Three more breaths here. And stay gentle with yourself as you remove any props out of the way. Bring your hands flat on the ground and wiggle your left foot to center. And slowly pull your hips back towards your right heel, flexing your left foot slightly. And then draw yourself forward again. Bend your left knee. Move back and forth like that a couple more times. No rush. And this time, as you pull your hips back, lower the hips all the way down to the mat. Keep your left leg straight and bring the bottom of your right foot inside your left leg somewhere. You decide how close or far away your foot is. Get settled in your hips. And start to turn your torso towards your left leg slightly. And maybe you frame your left leg with your hands. You can stay right there. If that's your edge, stay there. That's perfect. Or perhaps your body's telling you that there's a little bit more space. You can let the upper body start to melt forward. Head can hang heavy. Resist the urge to push or force or reach yourself deeper. These are passive shapes. The sensations will change the longer we're here, so stay patient. You don't always have to push. We're a little more than halfway through with this shape. Observe how things might have started to shift in your body, in your mind, and in your breath. Invite your breath to be longer, smoother, softer. Slowly lift your head back up. No rush. Extend your right leg next to your left. Hands come behind your hips. Lift your chest. Maybe your head tilts back. You could even rock side to side slightly. You might need to scooch your hips forward a little bit so you can start to lay all the way down on your back. And take your time to get settled here. Let go of all those little wiggles and adjustments so that you can integrate and receive all of the work you've done. Open and close your mouth a few times, release any tension in your jaw. Let your eyes soften. Let them sink heavy into your eye sockets. Shoulders heavy. Arms heavy. Hips melt into the floor. Legs heavy. Everything heavy. There's nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do. Take rest. Start to deepen your breath. And slowly bring gentle movement into your fingers and toes. Rock your head side to side. And when you're ready, roll over onto one side. Take your time. And see if you can keep your eyes closed just a little longer. Don't let go of this feeling just yet. Press yourself up to a seated position. And just like in the beginning of class, observe sensations, sounds, thoughts. No judgment, no expectation. Join your palms together. Take a breath in. Let it go. The light in me honors, respects, and bows to the light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste.